And you are live.
Excellent. We are live. Friday Night Live, Office of Student Involvement. We will get started in just a few moments. We're going to let folks log on. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, folks. Right. Just waiting a few more minutes as people start to log on for our live version of Friday Night Live from the College of the Holy Cross, Worcester, Massachusetts. All right. Everyone, do not forget to unmute yourself. Good evening, and my name is Brenda Hounsell Sullivan. I'm the Assistant Dean, Director of Student Involvement at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. I am coming to you live from Douglas, Massachusetts this evening. Antonio and Megan will be back with us next week when we host a spring weekend edition of Friday Night Live, HCAO.
Hi everyone, I'm Evan Crumb, class of 2021, co-chair of WCHC Sports. I'm a history major. Right now I'm set up from Manchester, Vermont.
Awesome. And together we will be hosting our Friday Night Live Seder Style Basketball Edition. This event was created to bring some Holy Cross talent to our community virtually during a time when we are all social distancing.
So for the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you a little taste as to what makes the College of the Holy Cross so special. This week we have brought in some of our basketball standouts.
Before we get started with that, Evan, tell us a little bit more about WCHC Sports.
Yeah, absolutely. So we cover Holy Cross basketball, hockey, and baseball. You can listen on 88.1 FM in Worcester, or we have an online link as well. We post those links to Facebook and Twitter, and we will be on the road for all men's hockey games next year, thanks to Brenda and OSI.
Awesome. And other sports that you cover?
We do men's and women's basketball, women's hockey, and baseball.
Well, thanks for being here tonight. Looking forward to co-host this wonderful event with these wonderful people. Outstanding both on and off the court. I've been blessed to meet each and every one of these lovely people and watch them play. So let's tune in while they introduce themselves.
Okay, I'm Torey Thomas, the class of 2007. My current occupation is professional basketball overseas. I was in France this year before the pandemic happened, and I'm coming to you live from White Plains, New York.
Awesome. Thanks, Torey.
Hey everyone, I'm Molly Mourigan, class of 2016. I'm currently working as a medical scribe and applying to PA schools, and I'm coming to you live from Memphis, New York.
Welcome, Molly.
My name is Jehyve Floyd. I play professional basketball in Greece.
The class is 2019, and I'm coming live from Providence, Rhode Island.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hi, I'm Lauren Manis, class of 2020. I guess now I'm also a professional basketball player, and I'm coming to you live from Franklin, Mass.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Awesome. So that's quite a lineup of outstanding alumni, student athletes, and leaders. Tonight we're going to be excited to talk about your accomplishments on the court, both at Holy Cross and after, and then your work in the community and in the classroom as well, what Holy Cross has meant to you, and what you hope to keep bringing to your communities.
So before we get started with the questions, let's learn a little bit more about what these folks have done on the court at Holy Cross. Specifically, we'll start with a video from back in the day with Mr. Torey Thomas.
To put the ball up and in a hurry. Griffin can't get any space. Throws it away. A steal by Torey Thomas. Thomas found in the open floor by McNaughton. And
he's worked on his jump shot and diversified. And his senior buddy, Torey Thomas, strong with the ball to the rim. Can go either way, make jump shots. Tremendous leader. And his teammates are inspired. Really the special stories like Torey Thomas. He was a good high school player, not great. Holy Cross only had one scholarship available, and an alumni called Ralph Willard, said, there's a kid I want you to look at. He's a good player, really quick, but he's influenced my son a great deal. Come look at him. And because he's a big alumni, Ralph Willard went and he watched him and thought to himself, this kid is a munchkin. He sat down with him, and in a 1-hour interview, Torey Thomas told his life story, and Ralph Willard said, I've got to have this kid on my team.
Yeah, that's an awesome moment, Torey. So 26 points in the Patriot League championship game, and I recall you were the 2007 Patriot League tournament MVP as well. Went to the NCAA tournament and played Southern Illinois. What can you tell me about that championship game at home at Holy Cross?
Yeah, it was unbelievable because it was our chance to really stamp our ticket to the NCAA tournament. We had battles with Bucknell throughout the years, and they got the best of us the last 2 years, actually, when us going to the finals. So when us three seniors, me and Keith, we finally got over the hump. And it was on our home court, so it was nothing a better feeling than being on your own court, which we didn't lose that whole season at home at the Heart. So to cap it off with that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's awesome. That steal and play, that looked like the dagger there. Like you see in the video, a lot of down faces on the Bucknell bench. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, that was one of them. We definitely needed. We always preach, as Coach Willard preaches, the defense. So we got some big stops down the stretch and was able to secure that victory.
Absolute madhouse at the Hart Center for that one.
Yeah. And that was without students because they were on spring break, which happens to us every year. It lines up every year that the game is on spring break. So imagine the gym with no students in Worcester. So Worcester came out, the community came out for us, as well as the people that were still around, that lived close.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Torey, we have some photos as well that we'll show throughout our show this evening. One of them is you just in Virginia, just getting so much air on your layup. I mean, it was incredible to watch you play.
Yes,
Another photo, Torey, is a photo of your Patriot League championship that you shared with us. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, to this day, that's still one of the major accomplishments because most people can't win a championship in college. And a championship from Holy Cross means you go to the big dance. You know, it's an automatic bid. So you fight for these games and to finally get over the hump. We've been there 20-plus win seasons, losing to Bucknell, and finally, you know, we got over the hump, like I said before. And it just brings everybody together, the whole community, Holy Cross. When you win like that and they know how much work you put in to do it, everybody's behind you. And it's a real family atmosphere.
Thank you so much. Evan, are you good with your questions for Torey right now? And we'll move on to our next person, Molly Mourigan. Is that good?
Yep.
All right, Molly, you're up. We've got a video clip from back in the day.
A record. They got shooters. They're very well coached. They play great defense, and we just gutted it out and found a way. I've got to go watch the tape again because we had every different lineup imaginable in there. And to the girls' credit, there just hasn't been enough time at practice to go over our four-guard lineup and what offenses and our conventional lineup, what offenses. So we were going offense, defense, but to their credit, I think we just made plays. I thought Katie Doherty hit a huge three. I don't know who gave her that pass, but we were down one, and that put us up two, and I don't think we ever trailed. Minnie made foul shots, and I can't say enough about Molly. But 5 and 3 keeps us in the upper echelon, tied with Loyola, I think, and Jehyve for third. We haven't played Loyola yet, and we have Jehyve at home. So there's a lot of...
Well, I can't say enough about Molly. That was a comment in that video. Tell us more about that day.
Every day in the Patriot League is competitive and crazy like that. Like Torey said, we're all fighting for that one chance to go to the big dance. Unfortunately, in my 4 years, I didn't get that chance, but each and every day you're battling, and you're battling with your teammates and your sisters on and off the court, and it's a great feeling, and I was very fortunate to have such a great positive career at Holy Cross.
So Molly, did I hear Coach Gibbons say a 4-guard lineup? That's pretty tough on the big there, right?
Yeah, so none of those 4 guards was me. So my senior year, actually, one of my senior teammates, she actually tore her ACL badly, and she was our other powerhouse. She was a forward, and she was a force to be reckoned with. And unfortunately, when she tore her ACL, it put a lot more pressure on me, and we did go 4 guards, 1 big, and we had a great season despite the adversities that we faced.
Yeah, the highlight video showed a great block from you in that game. You had quite a few blocks in your Holy Cross career. Is that what you would say was your specialty?
Yeah, that was definitely my forte. Definitely, I think, one of my favorite aspects of the game.
So Molly, we have a couple of other photos that we're showing on the screen, and one was the jump ball against Navy, and another one was when you were pretty much running stretch side by side, where your point guard number 5, don't know her name, was
Torey.
Yeah, fast break with me, or what was that about?
Yeah, that was a fast break with me, Katie Doherty, and Trisha Byrne, 2 of the best from class of 2018.
Awesome, thank you. Evan, any more questions for Molly?
I think I'm good for right now.
Awesome, it was a pleasure to watch you play as well.
Thanks, guys.
2 for 2. Torey was great. Molly was great. Now we're with Jehyve. Jehyve, we've got a video of you with the play of the week. So we're going to put that on now.
Beaver kindergarten basketball highlights. Here's Holy Cross up 2 against Canisius. That'd be a good hockey game too, but oh my goodness. Jehyve of Floyd. What a block. That's a game-winning, a walk-off block. It was. Remember?
Yeah, it's chase down block to seal the game, clinch the game. Jehyve, was that one of your enduring memories from your senior year?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. I think that was my second time on SportsCenter in the top 10, so it was a defining moment for sure, especially to win the game. I never done that before. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, so it was good to be a part of for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. It takes something to make top 10 with the defensive play.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, definitely. I think the first one was defensive too, just getting blocks, which I like to do. So it was definitely dope.
Yeah, usually those are the momentum swings, but seal the game like that was awesome to see.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple more photos to highlight. We have you as a sophomore, and I want to say it was, help me with that. Is it this same game in New York's college?
I think it was when I was a sophomore against maybe Rhode Island, maybe. I'm not sure. Actually, Rhode Island, I think.
Yeah, awesome. And then we have your Patriot League championship photo. That is your cover photo on your Facebook page. Talk to us a little bit about that.
That's the best moment I've probably had in my college career. Winning a championship with my team. It was good to see our older guys come together. We were 9th seed that year, so it was a Cinderella story, and probably the best moment, definitely from college, is winning a championship and going to the March Madness.
Kind of cool that we have 07 and 16 here, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. How we doing, Evan? Moving on to Lauren, or what?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, excellent. Up now is a video when Lauren hit her 2,000 points.
Lauren Manis just not only refused to lose, but refused to allow the clock to get in the way.
2,000 career points for Lauren Manis, the first 2,000, 1,000 player in school history, men's or women's basketball, and her
No point.
Lauren Manis to lose, but refused to allow the clock to get in the way.
2,000 career points for Lauren Manis, the first 2,000, 1,000 player in school history, men's or women's basketball, and her teammates will mob her with 8.7 to go. But more importantly, Kevin, what a moment for Lauren Manis as she eclipses the 2,000 career point mark.
I think the biggest thing for me was just doing it at home in front of my family and with my teammates. I got in the locker room after and got showered with their water bottles. They're great, and their support means the world, and I want to do it with any other team here, so this should be how did I get that? I didn't think I was going to, but it was exciting. And then to hear everyone screaming, my family was there. My best friend from home was actually on spring break, and she came, so it's nice that I got to do it in front of them.
Yeah, Lauren, that's an awesome moment. As we heard the announcer say, first 2,000 point score and 1,000 rebounds accumulated in Crusader history. That's awesome. What strikes me from that highlight, you would have thought you were in the driveway with no one watching. Those 2 foul shots at the end of the game. You hit the second one too to seal the game, not just the first one that probably mattered the most, but cool as ever. What was going through your mind when you were on the line?
Honestly, I think I was just telling myself, please do not miss this. At least just make one. But I just tried to do my best to calm myself down and, pretend like I was in my driveway, like no one was watching, and hit the first one, and then kind of honestly just threw the second one up. I think I blacked out, but it was such a special moment. And like I said in the video, to have everyone there, my best friend, my sister was off work. She's a nurse. Shout out Katie, by the way. But to have her there was so special. My parents, I had aunts and uncles and cousins there. So I think I really was eager to get it that game and was very grateful that I did.
Yeah, that's awesome that everyone was able to come. Yeah, that was off the fast break too, right? You got the steal first to set that off. So defense and the offense, two-way player.
Yeah, I think I had 1 point to go and there was 8 seconds left and Loyola had the ball. And they were trying to prevent me from getting it the whole entire game. So I think I was a little angry and I was determined to get it. So stole the ball and then she immediately fouled me.
Yeah, that's awesome how that turned out for sure.
Yeah.
Lauren, we were also able to show some photos around your 2,000 points with your arms up in the air and that beautiful photo, and then one of your team just giving you a lot of love there. Torey, I noticed a smirk on your face when you were listening to Lauren talk. Tell me what you're thinking.
I mean, it's just amazing for everybody up there of what they accomplished, and me being there. I was first because I was there before them. I'm a little older, so I know the emotions. I can feel the emotions. So I see for her to be the first one to ever do that is amazing, and then see your name getting selected in the draft. These are all dreams that you can make a reality, and she made it a reality. Just like Jehyve was playing his professional, me and him correspond. We speak often, so. Even though I'm in 07, he's 16. So it's just a great, situation where we could still connect, and there's things that we could share, coming to Holy Cross and being alumni now. It's very special.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, Torey, we certainly could have led with this, but Lauren, you were drafted in the 3rd round, 33rd overall to the Las Vegas Aces. First fully cross women's basketball player to go to the WNBA. That's got to be an awesome feeling. I know we all heard the Food Network story, but if you want to talk a little bit about draft day.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's been such an exciting week, and the support I've received is just so special. It kind of stinks that I wasn't able to be with my friends and my teammates for it, but I'm also really grateful that I was with my parents. It was just me, my mom, and my dad. My sister was working at Mass Gen. So I FaceTimed her right after, but we were watching the Food Network during the 3rd round, so I missed my name being called, but that's okay. Turned it back on, and I saw my name, and I just immediately collapsed to the floor and started bawling my eyes out. My parents both kind of jumped on top of me, and we were in a huddle, but it was just such a special moment, and a moment where I kind of saw my dreams coming true.
Yeah, it's awesome to be faced with the prospect of being paid to play basketball finally, I'm sure.
That's right.
Yeah, did you have any indications from Las Vegas that they were interested in you? Did you have any idea the teams were looking at you to draft you in the first place?
No, honestly, the weeks and days leading up to the draft, I wasn't expecting anything. I spoke to my agent the day before, and he just sent me a text message saying, like, I'm still working on it for tomorrow. And I responded, working on what? What he was talking about. And he said, the draft, I'm trying to get you drafted. I just said, oh, thanks. So I think once I received that text, it was kind of in the back of my mind that it was a possibility. But yeah, I still wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's quite the swing too, from having the Patriot League tournament ended so abruptly. Maybe faced with the end of competitive basketball to get that swing. Unfortunately, without playing the rest of the season, I think we'll lose some of the success of your team. That you didn't get to keep on playing. But was there anything you wanted to say about the team you had this year?
Yeah, well, I think if we did have the opportunity to continue playing, it would have been really exciting. There wasn't a doubt in my mind that we were going to win that game. That we weren't going to win that game. We were going in, we all had the right mentality, and at Bucknell, I just see us winning that and then coming back and winning a championship. So it really stinks that we didn't get the opportunity to prove that, but we were such a special team, and those girls are my best friends, and I miss them so much. But I know this is for the best, and we'll be reunited soon.
Well, I can tell you on campus, everyone certainly knew what a special team the women's basketball team was this year. So that momentum will keep going, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely.
So this leads us into our next theme of, kind of what brought you to Holy Cross and a little bit of your stories about how you've given back to both the Holy Cross community and the greater community at large. And so, Jehyve, we have a video that we'd love to show that was shown on, was it CBS Sports?
Yeah, it was CBS Sports.
So we're going to put that video up now, and hopefully it'll take us into our next theme and set of questions.
Basketball definitely steered me to be the first one in my family to go to a four-year college, and just knowing that I'm a year away from graduating, I feel like that's a great accomplishment for me. Basketball steered me into the right direction, get me away from the negativity. It was a good motivation, especially now. Like, I feel like I've accomplished a lot from what I've been through. I remember in high school, my freshman year, I was 5'9". I didn't take basketball so serious. And then I sprouted up to 6'3" my sophomore year. And my coach always told me, like, you're going to be a D1 basketball player. And I never believed him until my junior year when I sprouted up to 6'5". And I could see the differences on the court. I knew academics was a strong part of why Holy Cross wanted me here. So I went to the Holy Cross basketball camp, my first Division I camp. And after a couple of days here, I got my first offer. And then 2 weeks later, I committed because I just thought it was the right place.
I got the job, and Jehyve had signed already, and so I went down to Sayreville, New Jersey, and watched him practice just to see what we had. He was a pretty shy kid, and a big guy. He could run and jump, couldn't shoot a lick, but he was excited about Holy Cross coming there. It's just been great to see the way he's grown. Getting involved in a lot of different things on campus. He's noticeable because of his size on campus, but also because his involvement in different activities.
Adding things here and there to get away from basketball, it helps because basketball isn't everything. So you have to find a way to get more involved on campus. Last summer I worked on campus in the multicultural education office. I was like a student assistant there, so I think that was a good experience to put on my resume. Now I'm a part of the MOCA program, which is the Men of Color Athletes on campus, and the MIC, the Men Involvement Coalition. So I've just been more involved in campus just to help my experience here at Holy Cross.
Last year, I think maybe he played about 11 minutes a game, so he got a taste of it. If we won or lost, it didn't depend on him. And now it does, and he's recognized that. Even in the beginning of this year, he was just a little hesitant to tell his teammates, come on, you got to do this, or we got to work harder. But now he's, had some success, and people are starting to look up to him, and it's a two-way street. You start to feel better about yourself, and then the players, your teammates start to say, oh, there's a guy I can sort of latch on to. And it's been really great to see, him just come along.
After my freshman year, seeing what it takes to win a championship, we have the experience for our juniors, so we know what it takes to win. So we try to shed light on that to our freshmen. We've been there, we've done that. So I definitely, if you follow in our footsteps. I was the first person from Sayreville to make it to the NCAAs. They dedicated a day, August 8th, to me as Jehyve Floyd Day. And ever since then, I've been celebrating August 8th as my day.
August 8th, is that still your day?
Yeah, it is my day. I actually got it tattooed on my arm. So I'm celebrating.
I'm going to come to Jersey August 8th, all right? I'm coming to Jersey.
We need a Molly Mourigan and a Lauren and a Torey Thomas day, right?
Right.
Okay.
You talked a lot about ending up at Holy Cross for a certain reason, and about how blessed you were to be the first person in your family to go to college. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to come to Holy Cross because I know how important academics was first. So I think basketball just helped me grow into who I wanted to be. I was able to grow on the court, also off the court. And once I got myself established on the court, I was able to spread out and be more involved on campus. Just being the first person, I really didn't have anyone to like as a mentor. So it was a lot of people at Holy Cross that really helped me and like molded me into who I am today. Showing me things I didn't see in myself, and they saw in me. So I think definitely like the close bond I was having with a lot of administrators on the Hill definitely helped me to like grow and be myself and do more things on campus.
So does anyone else want to take that question? What are your thoughts around this topic as well? Thank you, Jehyve, so much for sharing a piece of your story.
You're welcome.
I guess I'll take it. So how I even ended up at Holy Cross, it wasn't even basketball. It was like alumni called that I was friends with their son. It was Kyle Petrelli. The Petrelli family called one of their brother-in-laws, which is Billy Doran. He played basketball at Holy Cross. So they said, just come check this kid out of Stamford, Connecticut, where I was going to school. And Coach Willard, listened and just came down, and it wasn't even based on basketball. We went into the office classroom. We had like an hour conversation, and he just liked my character, and he offered me a scholarship based on that right then and there, which is a crazy story, like getting a scholarship. Yeah, I worked out for him, so he knew I had some type of skill, but he wasn't recruiting me to come there, but he offered me an hour after our conversation. That's how much he thought about me. So I'll never forget that from Coach Willard. That was very important. And of course, the Petrelli family and the Dorans for pulling it together. And that was just a Holy Cross connection. So that's a major situation where it's about connections, about networking, and really it's about your character. So if my character was maybe off, he would have thought I wasn't a fit for Holy Cross. And he felt like I was a great fit for Holy Cross.
Thank you, Torey. Anyone else on this? Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I was just.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all good. All good.
Well, I'm from Franklin, Mass. I'm very local, so I grew up hearing about Holy Cross and how great of a school it is and how great the athletics are there. And I think it's kind of been my dream school ever since I was in high school or whenever I first heard of it. And I first visited in the fall, and I fell in love immediately when I stepped foot on campus. I just had that feeling that it was home. And they offered me a scholarship when I first visited. And it took me a while to accept it because I wanted to explore all my other options. But I think it took me 2 or 3 months to make a decision. And during that time, I didn't even want to see other schools. I went, my parents made me, but I just had my heart set on Holy Cross. And I still think it's the best decision I've made.
Thank you.
So unlike all you guys, I actually had never heard of Holy Cross until the coaches called me. I'm from a small farm town in upstate New York. And I remember during the recruiting season, the assistant coach called me and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of Worcester, Massachusetts?" I was like, "No, this looks like it's spelled like Worcester." But I gave it a chance, and I came and visited. And as soon as I stepped on campus, just like Lauren, I was like, wow, this is the place. The coaches, the professors, the athletic staff, everyone on campus just cares so much. And I knew that I wanted to spend my 4 years there. And I did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, Molly. I saw that your mom was also a college basketball player. What sort of impact did she have on your recruiting and on your development?
Yeah, so my mom played at SUNY Potsdam, and she was a rebounding machine. So I learned everything from her. She got me playing basketball when I was 4 or 5 years old. She was my coach all the way up through 6th grade, and then she really encouraged me to start AAU, and she was like, "Look, Molly, you can play in college if you want to. And I remember that day in 7th grade, she's like, you can do this. And ever since then, I started playing AU, and I played all the exposure tournaments, and it was all crazy. I mean, my mom was there with me every step of the way. She basically came to every single one of my college games too, 4-hour drive, and she's a teacher, so she drove through the night and taught the next day. So my mom is, she's an amazing woman, and I have a lot to thank from her.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
So I have a question around what you would identify as, I don't know, the way in which you knew that you could leave your legacy for others to follow. And I know each and every one you have and role models for young players and for your peers even. So we have a collage of different photos that you all have submitted, whether it be from working for Worcester, coaching in the local community at a place like St. Joseph's School in Webster, Massachusetts, where the girls just loved to come to your games, and then you trickled it down with Lauren and her next regime, and then Torey, the work that you started with the camps and everything that you've been doing, and then Jehyve, the photos that you have submitted around just having the little boys just looking up to you and wanting your autographs, and I know that is absolutely a common thread for each and every one of you. So if you wouldn't mind talking about some of that work and why that's important to you, and hold that in the center of what you do.
Okay. Is it me, Brenda, or who's going? So okay, sorry about that. Yes. So the legacy that I started, it would have been after sophomore year at Holy Cross. We just, can you hear?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. After 2005. This is my sophomore year. After that year, I came home that summer, and we had about like 4 or 5 games on ESPN because we won like 25 games. We beat Notre Dame in the NIT, so it was a big deal. So a lot of the kids from my neighborhood actually saw ESPN. If you were on ESPN back then, you were really like something was going on. Like even now, of course, everybody wants to make the top 10, but if your game was being played on ESPN or ESPN2, which was from the NIT games, so the kids was like, wow, I saw you. Most of them didn't know what Holy Cross was, but they was like, I saw you on TV, you're very good. So then we decided, back where I'm from, said you need to really start something with the kids because they're looking up to you. And then we started the New York Blades, which is a full organization from kids from like 6 years old all the way to 18. And I've been doing that ever since. We give back, for free program, kids could go play. It's like we transformed it to AAU, so we got different age groups. And now it's called Go Torey All-Star. So same thing. So they're my people that run it when I'm not around. They, chose to name it that, which was Jeffrey Lee and Larry White. Guys that I grew up with on Ferris, they really took over and made sure that things were in order. So just after my sophomore year of just getting some, just notoriety, just the TV screen could make you say, you know what, but it was because Holy Cross motto was men and women for others. I felt like the young kids coming up could get the opportunity ahead of time. When I was growing up, there was only one little program, and it helped us. But if you don't have enough for the kids to go do, they don't have nothing to look up to. So in my area, things get a little, crazy. So we made sure that they had something to do, and it was an academic portion of it. So our motto was life skills through sport. So that's the real reason how it actually came to be. But it definitely started after Holy Cross and understanding the values and then me being on the screen. So that's how my legacy is going to live on, because the kids come after me want to go to know about Holy Cross and want to just play basketball, get a good education, and live upstanding citizen lives. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I would absolutely say, you're a great model for a lot of things, especially continuing a basketball career after Holy Cross, going slightly non-traditional, going to Europe. You've been playing there since 2007. Just quite the accomplishment. I was going to ask you what you did your sophomore year summer, just because you were about a 25% three-point shooter.
Right.
Your first 2 years at Holy Cross, and then you jumped all the way up to 36% your junior year, 40% your senior year.
Yeah.
Any secret you had that summer?
Well, I think more confidence with myself and Coach Willer, actually, the extra work. So basically, we do individual workouts, but my individuals consisted of that in the morning, then going to class. But before practice, we would get like a good 30-minute session. And before practice, that was what Coach Willer said. He was just like, you penetrate well, you're going to find a person. But if you start being able to shoot at that high clip, and that's what happened. And it was like really able to show that, okay, you can put layers to your game. You can keep developing it. They could try to knock you at first and say, oh, you don't shoot the three well, you don't shoot really well. And then all of a sudden, 36 and 40%, you can't leave somebody. So it's about perseverance and hard work. And it was just like putting in the extra time on mechanics, and confidence is the key.
Absolutely.
I'd like to say, Torey, that one of those summers helped you improve because you became a summer orientation leader.
Yeah, I have to add that. Something I think I would have never done, but Brenda, I think that was an amazing time. That was one of my most amazing time. A whole summer I'm there as an orientation leader. So it's funny facts that you wouldn't know. I was also an RA for 3 years. So it wasn't just about basketball at Holy Cross. I'm an RA, so I have to be up at the dorms. And Coach hated it. Coach Willer hated it, but he saw that it didn't affect my performance. But I enjoyed it because I had more connection with all of the students around. It wasn't about just, oh, you play basketball and you get self-though. That's a good thing about Holy Cross. Everybody lives together, do things together.
That's awesome. What else, what other things are people involved in? I saw the working for Worcester piece. Both Lauren and Molly had that.
Yeah, I think we all serve as role models for so many people, especially kids in the Worcester community. And I think Holy Cross does a really great job at providing us these opportunities to give back to the community. Working for Worcester, we went to the soup kitchen all the time. We would read to kids, go into the local public schools. I actually did some tutoring. I'm an education minor, so I did that as well. And also the kids' games, I think my freshman year was probably the first time that I realized just how much these kids look up to us and how we can have a positive impact on their lives. They literally think we walk on water, and it sounds silly, because we don't think anything special about ourselves. But, we can really serve as role models for these kids because they look up to us so much. So I think having the opportunities to go back into the community and, really set a positive example for these kids is just something so special. And I'm so grateful that I was a part of it.
Yeah, I make this point off of Lauren. Holy Cross, their mantra is men and women for and with others. And I think that was a big fact that drew me to Holy Cross, is how much the school gives back to the community. There's so many opportunities that Holy Cross provides for its students to give back to the community. Like Lauren said, we went to soup kitchens and we were reading to kids. We built playgrounds. We built basketball courts for the kids in Worcester. and it was an amazing opportunity to not just give back to the kids in Worcester, but to lay a foundation for the rest of our lives, to continue doing that in our own communities.
Just to go off of that, like once I realized the attention I was getting after like winning Defensive Player of the Year and stuff like that, I wanted to showcase more than just the posters and all. Like I wanted people to really know who I was. So I think once we developed this group called MOCA, Men of Color Athletes on campus, we got together to just talk about our experience. And once I got to my senior year, I wanted to leave a mark on campus to ignite change on campus and talk about our experience. So I was able to come up with a project, The Hub, which is on YouTube, just gathering a lot of men and women of color to talk about our experience, because I feel like we don't get that space to be vulnerable and talk about our experiences, about the ups and downs. A lot of people see us for just athletes, so we wanted to get our story across. And I think it did a lot of justice because it got to the president and he enjoyed it. And going after my senior year to leave a video, I think that was my legacy, because you can't really delete a video. So now it's on YouTube now, so you can always refer back to it. So I think using that, the energy I've gotten from that to going over to Greece and just seeing how, like Lauren said, these kids, even from a different country, are looking up to you as a basketball player and they want to be just like you. I think going over there was even more eye-opening. They knew my name, they wanted my autograph, and like just being an inspiration and telling them how hard work and perseverance gets you to where I was today can really help. And while they're young, just to get a head start, because I wish I had that inspiration when I was young, someone telling me to keep working hard and keep dreaming. So just to give back and show people like the human side of me, not just what they see on the basketball court.
For sure. Yeah, that's awesome, Jehyve. Molly, I had a question for you. So I saw that you were also an executive director for working for Worcester. So not just the site day. And then, on top of being a bio major, D1 athlete, what would you say to, current students who are sort of on the fence about the time commitment of taking that extra step?
Yeah. Working for Worcester and being a bio major and playing basketball all at the same time might have been crazy, but it made me who I am. And I loved every second of it. Yeah, there were some sleepless nights and it was a lot of hard work, but it really prepared me for a bright future. And to current students who are questioning whether or not they have the time, you do have the time. You can put in, just 5 minutes every day or 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. You have time to dedicate yourself to others, no matter what.
So, Evan, we could just keep talking all night with these great people. But we've got about 10 minutes over our original plan. We had a plan to let each of you kind of share some parting thoughts. But before we do that, Evan, any other burning questions that you are?
No, I think I'm good for now, yeah.
Yeah. So again, throughout this Facebook Live, we've been balancing the video clips as well as photos, and there's some great photos of each and every one of these awesome people, both on the court, off the court, in the community. I know that there's a lot of people that you've impacted in the community watching as well. Kaylee and Olivia would like you to do a shout out to Coach Molly for all of the work that she did with the St. Joseph School in Webster, Massachusetts. So,
shout out to Joe's.
So with that said, in closing, what would you like to say to each and every one of your viewers? Whoever would like to go first can.
Sure. I just like to say thank you. Thank you for being a fan of us at Holy Cross, for supporting us, for giving us these great opportunities to give back to the community. We couldn't do what we do without the amazing staff at Holy Cross, the professors, the coaches, even the janitors. Every single person at Holy Cross. We could not do what we did all 4 years and beyond. So just thank you.
I think Holy Cross is just such a special place, and although I'm really bummed out, my time there got cut short. Went above and beyond my expectations. Everyone there wants to see you do well, wants to see you succeed, and there's so many helpful resources, and just provides you with so many opportunities to give back to the community and to succeed. And I'm definitely such a different person now than I was when I entered my freshman year. So just forever grateful for Holy Cross as an institution and for everyone around it.
For me, Holy Cross will always be home for me. I met a lot of great people there. Still connected to today. I think holding that connection really helps you in the real world, whether after basketball or whenever I'm off season. It's good to always connect with people who are doing great things. I definitely learned a lot about having people skills and communicating effectively. I learned so much at Holy Cross that I will always cherish the time I had there. So, yeah, thank you.
And piggybacking off of Jehyve is the memories that we have. I will always cherish them. And what I learned is how to manage my time and what priorities I need to place. Time management priorities, because being overseas for now 13 seasons, by yourself, you got to Holy Cross prepared me to just take in the positive of learning about the cultures of these places, and being in France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Greece, Cyprus, all these different countries that I've traveled to and played for. I could have looked at it like I got to go to practice and back home, or I could look at it and I could learn about the history, taste new foods, new experiences, deal with what is the culture, why are Greeks like this, why are Italians like this, why, and that's what you make sure you question and get the most out of the experience. And I can say that Holy Cross prepared me for that, and I'm very thankful for that. And I think that the Worcester city just getting out, we always get a stigma that you're just on top of the hill, on top of the city, but once you get outside and understand what Worcester's about, it's a working person's town that wants to embrace that. So I really got both sides of that. I got to see Worcester. I got a chance to see how special Holy Cross is, and I'm very thankful to be part of that whole Holy Cross community, and still, striving to make more connections with everybody around here. So, it was great overall.
Well, I can certainly say we've covered a lot of ground this evening. It was a blessing to see all of your faces. I know that your seasons, the three of you, were directly impacted by the pandemic. And then Molly, you're out in the front lines. I mean, you're doing the work as a medical professional and really taking care of folks. And also with your family's farm, I'm sure they're providing a lot of essential food that we need. It's an interesting and challenging time. Evan, any closing thoughts for you before we wrap up?
I would just say, Lauren, make sure to thank your sister, who's a nurse on behalf of all of us. It's a wild time right now, and we need people like her more than ever.
Thank you. I'll pass the message along.
So you all are connected. You have this thread that is amazing that won't go away. Bleed Purple. I am so blessed. My daughters have been blessed to watch each and every one of you as they grow up. And I just am really grateful to work at an institution that brings students like you that turn into wonderful alums and change the world. So we'll keep in touch. We may be doing some future Friday Night Lives with some basketball graders, meeting older olders. So the passion of Tories. So maybe that will come out, and we'll continue to be here every Friday night at 7 p.m. As I mentioned, next week we will have HC Idol. So if any of you would like to perform live on Facebook Live, we will be doing that.
I'll be out.
Yeah. Hosted by Megan and alum Antonia from the class of 2012. And just really thank you so much for your time this evening. I thank Chris Hoagland, who's behind the scenes, running all the technical things.
Yes.
And really appreciate all that you've done. So you take good care and be safe. And God bless.
All right, God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great time.
Good job, Ed.